do it. Let's do it. Greatest solos ever recorded. Spot, next one. This one's even better. Oh, best solo ever. Stop! Oh, come on, Joe Satriani, come on! I need to do this again. I know I've already covered him a couple of times. I don't care. I'm going to keep doing it because this solo. I remember. Does anyone remember back to the old days? I'm going to assume a lot of you are my age. You know, there was a cassette, VHS, the Satch tapes. I've mentioned it before a while ago, and I finally got a copy of it. Bear in mind, I hadn't really seen Joe Satriani. I'd had his Surfing with the Alien album, was absolutely, just besotted with him. But there was no pictures of him in that one, so I didn't know what he looked like. And I remember seeing I think my instructor had the Satch tapes. I think my mum bought it for me for Christmas or something. Ordered it. You had to go to like a shop back then. There was none of this Amazon stuff where you could just get it the following day. I think she had to go to like a proper place and mail order it or something. But I remember sitting there and watching it, and from start to finish, it just blew my mind, the whole thing. Even just little snippets of him like being on the beach playing the chrome guitar, I think it was, playing Surfing with the Alien, doing I can remember snippets of that and these little flashbacks here and there. But a moment that changed, absolutely just changed everything, was the music video, would you believe, for Big Bad Moon. I just thought it was not only epic because there were two of him, weren't there? There was obviously the guitar slinging, he's walking along, kicking the cabinet, giving it that epic riff. I just loved it, kicking it and singing along. And then you had the other guy where he was like that, walking along, chewing his gum, and ever so over the top, giving it that. And then, sort of like walking on cool with his thing, and then getting pulled over by the cops, remember that? And then that solo, when it kicked in, it's just absolute balls, just right from the beginning. Oh, just like, have a string bend in your face, yeah. What do you think of that? And then that... Don't really know what he was doing there, but then I just make it up. And then there was those huge blues bends. And I know he's probably, because you see in the video, he's going like that. But I like to just, throw in a little bit of pick in there, so I do some sort of like... And then again, one of his sort of signature phrases where he just gets this real fast pentatonic hammer on it. That kind of thing. But again, I think I just do. Again, I just make it as difficult as I can for myself. And again, I know he did one of those things, but again, learn it wrong. Learn it your own way. Best thing you'll ever do. But I have to admit, I've got to bring your attention to just this moment that still gives me, I don't know if you do it, if you watch it and crank it, and you watch him playing this last solo where it's, you know, the slide bit, and then he comes into the... Oh, hang on a minute. Being a bit brutal on my strings here. That moment right there, and the fact that he's playing it on he's lying back like that, he's playing it like that, and then he goes like and then you see him electrocuted and his hair's massive and stuff. It was honestly one of the coolest moments of my life, and it still is. I know I'm stuck in the past, nostalgic as hell. Oh, I just can't get past it. It still excites me even now, just thinking of it, thinking of that video, and and then he ends up like, you know, so I thought, oh my God, they've killed him off. But then you see him again at the end, you know, obviously and then the other character ends up going up there, getting lured in by the siren up in the video, in a room up there. And I remember just watching that video and thinking, I want to model my life on this video here, and I want to live all of that. And I think I have, through my short but colourful life, I think I've achieved all of those things, really. You know, I'm not saying I've been arrested. I've just, anyway. What an attitude of a song there. I just think that one of his signature phrases as well, which again helped me, the fact that I do it wrong, is instead of going, there's always a workaround, is what I want to talk about. Andy James, if you're all familiar with him, absolute legend. He said something, I remember seeing in an interview with Rick Graham, obviously, and they were talking about, Andy actually said, he's like, yeah, most of my playing is just a series of workarounds, man. And I remember just thinking, how cool is that? The fact that he's worked such monster technique by probably avoiding, like he does, you know, those huge big strings again. All that monstrous picking he does, and he's done it from avoiding like bar sweeps and stuff. He doesn't really do it, so he does these huge stretches and huge pick runs and massive pentatonics and stuff. And it's because he was just like, oh no, I worked on that and avoided that and did it that way. And I honestly think that's one of the best bits of advice ever. So like, for instance, I remember, you know, trying to work it out, seeing kind of what he's doing, but then those group of notes, that big, like, I love that phrase there. He'll do it like that, where he'll do just E minor pentatonic, he'll do, and he'll just do the, you know, a couple of pick notes. But I kind of keep the hand going. Don't pick it all, but keep the sequencing going. So I've got that. And you still get that like flurry sound rather than... Well, that sounds cool as well, but that's more Zach Wild style, isn't it? Anyway, I digress. Sorry, I don't know if I ramble on, but I just, honestly, the coolest moment ever, and I still think it hasn't been beaten. I have to put it as, in my view, Satriani's finest moment. Okay, there's 100,000 other great ones that'll go below it, but for me, I still have that image in my mind of him walking along looking cool as, just kicking the cab, giving it. Oh, wrong note. And then he just goes like, let's have some attitude. Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. So if you don't know it, you have to go and listen to Big Bad Moon. Absolute badass. Flying in the Blue Dream album. I'm going to talk about that album for the rest of my life because it had a huge effect. Same with Rick. We're going to discuss it hugely in our future endeavours and just talk about the fact that even now I still listen to it and I still think it is Satriani in his prime. Not saying he's not now. I'm just saying for me, I think it was my prime moments listening to that album. Oh God, everything about it. And as you know, I love that one. Missed a note. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Yeah, be inspired. Stop being so like serious. Get inspired by it. Listen to it and just feel like, oh, that's what it's about. Even if you just play the rhythm and actually play it in time, and don't be like me and rush all the time, go ahead of the beat. It's like, well, I've got to sort that out, make sure I keep to the time. What am I doing? I'm just too excitable. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and more Satriani in the future, because I don't care what anyone says. He's on my Mount Rushmore, all right? So if you don't like it... Thank you very much. See you next week.